Hey everyone, it's Marcello here at the Toyota World YouTube channel, and I'm at Maple Toyota with a all-new 2023 Corolla Cross Hybrid SE. We're going to review it and show you what's different about it and really cool just ahead. All right, take a close look at the exterior styling here for the 2023 Corolla Cross Hybrid SE. So the Corolla Cross Hybrid for 23 comes in two models, very simple and easy to choose and decide. This one here is the SE. You can also get the XSE Corolla Cross Hybrid, which comes with a larger alloy wheel and some other cool features and goodies like a power moonroof. But with both SE and XSE Corolla Cross for 2023 Hybrid, you do have the option to get a two-tone paint scheme or color scheme. So what that means is kind of like the XSE RAV4 hybrids or the XSE Toyota Camrys. The Corolla Cross does come XSE, but on the SE and XSE, you can get a black roof with a body painted color to kind of offset that contrast and give it that extra sporty look. You'll also notice the front end is a little bit different. That's right. You've got a little bit of a different front fascia here on the Corolla Cross Hybrid versus the non-hybrid. Which one do I like better? I'm not sure. I think I like them both the same. I think the headlamps kind of pop out at you a little bit more on the hybrid version, just because, if I'm not mistaken, the grille is much larger and almost meets where the headlamps start on the non-hybrid equivalent. So I might like this one a little bit better when it comes to front end design and look. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Now, the Cross Hybrid does have its own unique set of alloy wheels. The alloy wheels are not shared with any other models or trims in the Toyota lineup. This one here on the SE, you've got a 17-inch alloy wheel, and on the XSE, you're upgraded to a lovely 18-inch alloy wheel, both with a black and silver contrasting color combination. And yes, that's right. Over to the right, you'll see the all-wheel drive badge. The Corolla Cross Hybrid only comes all-wheel drive, at least here in Canada. And you'll notice that the badge is actually blacked out. And that follows through on the rear of the vehicle as well. And that's something that is standard on the Corolla Cross Hybrid. Whether you go with the SE or the XSE, you've got the blackout badges. So it really gives it that sporty look and feel. Now, this is something that's really cool and interesting to see, especially on something like an entry-level Corolla Cross. And this is the entry-level Corolla Cross for the Cross Hybrid. You've got a piano black trim throughout the bottom of the rear bumper, which again goes back to the sporty roots of this Cross Hybrid. And that trim actually follows throughout the front of the vehicle as well. If you see here around the lower front grille, you've got that same matching piano black trim with a completely blacked out Toyota emblem and logo. That's really cool, actually. That's something new that I haven't seen yet. And guys, just if you didn't know, this vehicle's actually on. You can hear how dead silent this hybrid Synergy Drive system really is. And at a Canadian MSRP of $33,985 plus your freight, PDI, taxes and fees, the pricing of this vehicle is just over $1,000 less expensive than the fully loaded XLE gas model when comparing the pricing. What's going on under the hood? Well, you've got a 2-liter, 196 horsepower, 4-cylinder engine putting out 139 pound-foot of torque. Now, how does that compare to the non-hybrid equivalent? Well, you still have a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine for the non-hybrid, but it puts out only 169 horsepower on the non-hybrid engine, but it does put out slightly more torque at 151 pound-foot of torque. Now, I've driven both the hybrid and the non-hybrid, and I've got to say, the hybrid, yes, does have more horsepower, less torque, but in terms of acceleration, you really get a little bit more responsiveness and quite better feel when compared to the non-hybrid on this one here, and that's partly due to the instant response of the electric hybrid system. All right, here's another interesting fact to mention, and that's with regards to fuel consumption. So you actually have a smaller gas tank here on the hybrid equivalent Corolla Cross. You've got a 40-liter gas tank, whereas on the non-hybrid, you have a 50-liter gas tank. And of course, the fuel consumption is quite better on the hybrid version. And it's actually even better than that, being the fact that it does have a smaller gas tank. So what is the fuel consumption? Well, on this 40-liter gas tank puppy here, you've got a 50 miles per gallon combined city and highway average, which translates to about 5.6 liters per 100. Now, what is it on the non-hybrid? So on the 50-liter gas tank non-hybrid, it gives you about 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers average of course city and highway, which translates to about 36 miles per gallon. And you'll be happy to know that regardless which model Corolla Cross hybrid you go with, whether it's the SE or the XSE, it will come standard with a smart key push button start system. All right, here we are on the interior, and the vehicle is on. And this is what I love about the hybrid alternative for the Corolla Cross. It's got the hybrid synergy drive. Do you guys hear how dead silent it is inside of this vehicle while it's actually on? You've got your multi-information display system here, which houses a lot of your settings and features of the vehicle. You can actually toggle through a lot of safety equipment when it comes to your Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which comes standard on the Corolla Cross for 2023. That's on the hybrid and the non-hybrid. You've got your multimedia setup here. This features your latest connectivity with wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, cloud-based navigation, and more. Now, as for the instrument cluster and center console here, you've got your high and low settings for the front heated seats that come standard. And this is something new. This is actually your heated steering wheel function control button here. And yes, for the SE Corolla Cross hybrid, it does come standard with a leather wrapped heated steering wheel. And why it's interesting is because usually for the Toyota vehicles, the heated steering wheel button is actually over to the left of the steering wheel, not the right. But you do have a couple of more controls here to the left of your steering wheel. And you do have also your power fuel release button. Let me just zone in there. Sorry for the blurriness. You've got your display brightness, your automatic high beams. Beautiful interior. Very similar, if not identical, actually, to the non-hybrid Toyota Corolla Cross. And as for interior seating, on the SE, you get a sport fabric interior, which has a nice blue piping throughout and matching blue stitching. And on the XSE, you get a black Softex interior. And that's right, no matter what color exterior you go with, whether it's the single color or the two-tone or whatever color it is, the interior seating will always be black. You'll also notice this little indicator here. That's right, and that's because the SE and of course the XSE come standard with the blind spot monitoring system and the rear cross traffic alert. So what happens as you put the vehicle in reverse, it will detect anything coming or approaching towards the back of the vehicle, and it will notify you. Something else that I noticed that's pretty cool about this Corolla Cross Hybrid is that it does come standard with these sporty paddle shifters. Now, how's the space on the interior of this Corolla Cross Hybrid? Well, you don't really lose much, if anything, on the interior space. You'll notice you've got some hybrid components sitting underneath the rear passenger seat, but it's still quite comfortable and not much to talk about in terms of any drastic changes when it comes to interior space on this Corolla Cross Hybrid versus the non-hybrid. And as for at the back of the vehicle, it does not come standard with the rear power hatch tailgate. You'll have to go with at least the XSE model for the Cross Hybrid to get that. But you got some pretty useful trunk and cargo space here. And again, not really losing anything in terms of space back here when it comes to the hybrid versus the non-hybrid. You've got the lovely 60-40 split in the rear. And yes, it does come standard with this very useful rear privacy tonneau cover. One thing also to keep in mind, everything is pretty dark on the interior of the Corolla Cross Hybrid. Like I mentioned earlier, no matter what exterior configuration you go with, you'll always have a black interior, which also is true for the roof liner. You always have a black roof liner. Toyota, I believe, really wanted to go sporty with the Cross Hybrid versus the non-hybrid. You know, even these front sport inspired seats, although they are cloth, they still feel very aggressive and sporty compared to something like a regular Corolla sedan. So you tell me, which model would you go with? Would you go with the hybrid, non-hybrid, the SE, the XSE? Let me know in the comments below. Well, everyone, that's what we've got here for this Corolla Cross Hybrid walk around and review. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll catch you in the next video. Smash a thumbs up. Take care.